Hi everyone, welcome to episode 2 of the Grow It Bonsai Trees kit. This kit went in 7th of October 2019. It was left to see if we got any germination, of which we have none. So now it's time for it to go into stratification into the fridge. So let's put this first one into the fridge and then we'll reopen the packet and start sowing some more to keep the flow of this going, because I know last time we only made this one pot up with one sachet of seeds. So that's those into stratification now, so they'll be in there for I think it said 2 to 3 weeks. We'll just check that out. Go into the box. I seem to remember we had this really thick booklet last time. It gave us the husk pots and some soil discs, and then we had some mixed packets of seeds. So the sowing instructions were to place them evenly in the soil at a depth of about 0.3 of a centimetre, so 3 millimetres thick, and then put them into a thin polythene bag once that they've been sown. But what we're going to do is we're going to utilise one of these little green pots, which I think this is made by Stewart's. I'll get some links for these and get them into the description below. But these have been very useful, moving things around, transporting seedlings and seeds, and they're very high topped for the seedlings, so they do a lot better than some of the ones that you get inside the kits. So we're gonna put them into there. In order to do that, we need to set some of these soil discs on the way, and as I remember, it was 200 mils of water per disc. So 100 mils of water per disc. So what I have done is I've put 200 mils of warm water into there to start soaking 2 discs, and then we'll see where we get to with that amount of soil soaked into that water. So we'll let that sit, and then we'll come back and spread it evenly into this pot, and we'll go forward from there and find out, you know, if we need any more soil putting into this unit. But we'll let them soak. Nice warm water, so it'll soak in a lot quicker. When it's cold water, it doesn't soak in very quickly, so we'll obviously have to let it cool down and everything afterwards, but it will soak in a lot faster rather than waiting for it. So we'll get that done and we'll come back. Okay, so it's been soaking up for a good while now, but the mixture's rather sloppy, and it doesn't look as if there's much dryness to any of this to be able to soak up too much more of the water that was in there. So maybe I went a little bit over the 200 mils that was needed for those 2 discs, or maybe the discs had broken up a little bit and lost some of its parts and weren't able to soak up all the water. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to utilise some of the standard bonsai mix, which will add some perlite into it, and the clay particles will soak up a lot of the extra water that's in there. So I'm just going to pour 1 scoop in, and straight away you can see it's starting to take up a lot of that excess moisture. So that's the clay particles in there that's doing its job of soaking up the extra residue. The mixture basically is designed to be used for spillages and things like that, so it's exactly what it's meant for. We'll just put another scoop in, and we can always add a bit more water to the mix if we've gone a little bit overboard anyway, but it will give us a lot of extra brittleness to the to the mix, allow a lot of, you know, for the air pockets and things to be formed, for the oxygen to get down and into the soil. The perlite being in there will give that. So it's actually not a bad little idea, to be fair, that it's worked out that way. So we'll let that sit and soak up that, because I don't want to put too much of the bonsai mix in there, but hopefully that will soak up nicely, and then we'll transfer it across into the little propagator, add the seeds, and see where we go from there. I think hopefully things will do really well. I've got good hopes for this, the Grow It Bonsai Trees kit. It seems to be quite a popular one, so hopefully we can get some really good results out of it. So we'll let that soak for a little bit longer, and then we'll come back. Okay, so we're back after it's been soaking for a little bit longer. It's still a little bit wet, but that's not too much of a problem, because it's obviously going to try and germinate the seeds and everything. So we'll look to drop it into the small propagator. I mean, to be fair, when you do get the core discs and soil discs, they come out very soggy in all the kits that I've done so far. So this will just slowly dry out, and hopefully we'll propagate the seeds that we're going to put in there in the meantime. And we'll put the little lid on, and it will contain its own little biosphere, if you like, to, you know, the moisture will go into the top, and it will keep everything nice and moist and damp for the seeds to germinate. So we'll just pick another pouch of these random seed mixes, and they are just a mix, so we don't know what we're going to get. So we'll just sprinkle them around the top, and then we'll just move the soil around just to get it so that it's underneath. So that's that. What I will do is I'm going to just put a small amount of normal soil, or a peaty type soil, just across the top, just to make sure that we've covered all of the seeds. And I'll just try and rake that across. This will soak up any of the top moisture also, and hopefully allow germination to start. So that's now going to go place the seeds evenly in the soil, which we've done. After sowing, seal in a thin polythene bag where we're going to put them into this propagation unit, and place out of direct sunlight but in good light for 2 to 3 weeks. So this is actually going to go into the same place where it was before. It's a north facing window, but it's going to sit on top of a heat tray. So it'll have some bottom heat, which will help remove some of that moisture and get the moisture into there, so it creates its own environment. And hopefully we'll get anything that is due to germinate through. If nothing germinates after the 2 to 3 weeks, we'll place that into the fridge for a further 3 to 6 weeks, and then it will come back out again and sit back in the same place with the bottom heat. And with it being January now, 3 to 6 weeks, we could be into March and looking at spring, so we may even be able to put them outside. So we'll put that into position and get cleaned up, and that's going to be it for the Grow It bonsai tree set for today. So I'm Scott Winard, this is Let's Do Bonsai, and we'll see you again on the next one.